Well, hello. In this video, I just want to do a quick update on Bitcoin. It's just past the 10 o'clock mark. We had a great close last night, great candle, good volume, cracked 10,000. So the official close was 10,227. This sort of action, it's all good and well to have this sort of action. It's really nice that it's happening. We need to be keeping an eye on the idea. See, the market just doesn't go up forever. And this is actually getting... The further extended it gets away from the 50 and the 200, the more magnetic, or the stronger the magnet becomes. Up by the lift, down by the elevator. That's just something you need to keep in the back of your mind for that. Having a look at it for the long term, I mean, the cup with handle it's just shaping up to be such a beautiful pattern. You know, looking at the big long cup here up the top, the handle going down. Anyway, we cracked that handle at the top there, and now we're just shot straight through that with good strength on volume. Everything on this chart is saying the right thing, which is good at this stage. So there's no real reason for concern. You do need to be looking out for the profit takers. So here we see the cup with handle here, and it's gone up. This is just one example of the profit taking going on, or that we could possibly see. I'll just open that right up so you can see it. I've done this before, but going from there up to here, there's kind of like a cup with handle there, but let's extend that. Well, actually, let's say we got the cup with handle here and then went down, then we kind of went up there like very nicely. And then we had a good profit taken down to the 50, that's actually healthy. It's very healthy for a market to do that, because this market, it's all about change, like money changing hands. So people buy, people sell, people want to take profits. So, they buy up there and, everything's good. And then at the top here, they start selling. Now, one other thing that I just want to point out while I'm here, the distribution in the volume candles. So as we can see, as this was climbing up here, the volume, the green candles, the green volume at the bottom was increasing down here. And then it started to level out a bit at the top. So this is very, very common. Levels out a bit, so there's less and less buying as it gets to the peak. This red candle here, that's an indecision day, and there wasn't very much volume there. It's the next day. So we've got increased selling. So this is a distribution day. So basically, this is everyone, or the big investors, unloading their holdings in Bitcoin on that particular day. And there wasn't much buying happening the next day. You can tell by the volume. And there was this candle here is a big indecision candle. Now I'll get to Monero next and show you the indecision candle we got with Monero. Sometimes these go up, but most of the time they actually turn and have a bit of a breather. This candle here was not all that much of a concern. The next candle, this candle here was the distribution day. This was the day that you would be selling, definitely be selling. Simply because we've got an increase in volume on the selling side. It's proven, it's broken below the 8 EMA. We've got an increase in selling volume as well. The thing is, it only came down and hit the 50 moving average and turn around again. So at this particular time here, I sold here, going there. Yes, I can, 65.41. So 65.41 is where I sold. I would have been buying back in on this day here, because I always buy on confirmation. I never buy, like these candles hitting a resistance, and that's a fantastic reversal there. But I like confirmation. I'd be waiting for this day here and buying in on that confirmation there, which was 72.65. So we're talking about 700 points. So there's $700 between where I sold and where I bought back in again. Now, you might be saying, oh man, that's a lot of money, or, that's heaps. But, there was my next buy there. And then if we go up the top here and have a look, I just want to show you this volume again. Like, this is very, very important that you get this volume, because if you don't get this volume and incorporate volume into your chart reading, you don't really know whether the money's coming in or going out. Just looking at this here, we've got an increase in the green volume here, and then we've got a good selling day with volume there, but it didn't beat yesterday's green. So that's not really too much of a concern. That didn't beat the previous day's red either, so that's not too much of a concern. Now we've got a good spinning top there, and it's good volume, which basically says that the bulls are still in control here. This is a concern here, because we've got less volume on the buying, and even less volume again on the buying. But now we've got an increase in selling. So the tides is actually turning. You can see that we've got less people buying day by day, and we've got an increase in selling, on that particular day. It beat the last day. That's a very important thing to note. We've got a small amount of buying, and then it's a little bit more buying, which is good. And we finished the day positive, like the candle. You could have even bought there if you wanted to, but I wouldn't be buying there simply because at the top of a run, if you've got two candles or one or two candles that are more than, or around 20% of the entire move, you look to exit. So around about here, you should have been looking to exit. Called Neo late in the rally, it went from about, I don't know, $8 to $24 in about 10 days or something. And right at the very top of the last green candle, I put a sell out, and that was exactly when you should have sold, simply because we had this same formation with EOS, and you'd sell, and you get to keep so much more of your profit. Whereas here, this is where the mums and dads get in. This is where they think, oh shit, I don't want to miss out. Bitcoin's going off, or whatever. And then they jump in here and think, yeah, this is a great idea. And then they get in there and then they wonder 6 months down the track why they've lost they lost their shirt. That's why. So here we are. The volume's gone down. This is the main point here. We've got a huge candle there, which has gone up, and we've got less volume than the previous day. Now we've got an indecision candle, and it's got more selling than the previous day's buying. That's very, very important to note. Then the very next day, we've got even more selling. It's an indecision candle, but we've got even more selling. And then the very next day, we've got an increase in selling. I'm looking at the volume here. We've got an increase in selling, and we've closed below the 8 EMA. Now, this is a big concern, right? What I want to do, I want to open up the charts a little bit more now, and I want to explain something in more depth. When you're at these extraordinary heights, you actually need to watch the markets a lot closer. So this is exactly how I'd be playing it. So you've got an increase in selling, increase in selling, increase in selling, and another increase in selling. I'm looking at the volume here. Let's have a look back at this day here. If I was holding at this stage here, I would be looking at this particular open here. So at the open, it's turned around, it's gone up. So when it's gone up to here, this is a perfect place to put your stop. You go back to the previous day and have a look where the close was. If it goes 1 point below that close, that's when you exit. Once it goes here and goes up, you have put your stops in place. As soon as it comes down and goes below there, you've already exited the trade. Okay, because you know that there's not enough strength in the market here. You can tell that there's more and more people selling from the volume, and you place your stops accordingly, and you're out of the game right there at about 7,200. Carries on, goes down, and then we have a big indecision candle here, which looks like it's going to turn around. And then we've got not much buying. We've still got more selling here, indecision, but more selling. And then we've got a little bit more buying. Now here, I bought because the increase in volume than the previous day. And then that was a mistake. So anyway, I didn't last very long in there at all. That's just an example of how to read the volume on a high. And this particular day here, that was the first day of distribution, which should have been taken on board, as now we could be reaching the top. Actually, these two here should have been saying we must be coming close to the finish line here. But this big day of distribution would definitely be the second red flag saying, hey, that's a big sell-off. This is big institutional money pulling their money out without mums and dads knowing. And this is all why mums and dads are buying this thing, right? This one here, you got an increase on the previous day. Look, I could go through this whole thing again, but I won't. I'll just leave it at that. Now, I just want to go to Monero to quickly show you there that Bitcoin is doing the right things. It won't keep going up forever. It has to have a breather. And if it has a breather now, it will be a good thing for it because it means that it's got more room to climb. Now, I just want to go to Monero and have a quick squeeze at Monero and show you what I'm seeing there. There was a candle there that, 109. That was all right. I only bought it a couple of days ago for about 100. So we had a nice finish there with Monero too. Oh, that's 109. Let's see what it actually went to. So $110.28 it went to. That's what it closed at. Now, what was the high? Oh, yeah, 110.28. Cool. Okay, good. So you can see the volume there is all pretty good. But the stochastics are high. All the moving averages are up. It's a cut with handle, on a cut with handle, which is excellent. The only thing is we could be seeing some resistance around about the 113.14 mark. I'll be keeping my eye out for that. Actually, yeah, around about there, 114.50, somewhere around there. So, that's right. Here, I was going to show you this. This was a little bit of a concern. Is this candle here? Now, even though there's a lot of volume in there, and there was a lot of arguing going on between the bulls and the bears, it's open low here, gone down only a smidgen, and then and bounced off the 50, which is quite normal. Usually, it'll come up and hit somewhere like a major resistance, like the $100 mark. and then go down and have another crack at the $100 mark, which it did here, and then a little bit of a sell-off, and then it punches through that $100 mark, and then this was the buy right here on this day here. We're going onto this day here, which was a bit of a concern for me, because buying here, coming down to the 100 mark and testing that and finding support, then it went all the way up, and then the sell-off happened here. So we've got more than 40%, or around about 40-45% of a sell-off, profit taking on that day. Now that's not very good. It's just showing that there are still bears in this market. So far from yesterday's candle, the bears have actually turned into the bulls, and they've gone up here. So this candle here was a concern. This candle here has kind of proved it wrong. It'll be interesting to see where this goes here, but it wouldn't surprise me if we went up to about the $113 mark, $114.50 or somewhere around there, and then came back down to the $100 mark and found support there again and then took off. Quite normal and quite healthy for a market to do. There has to be profit taking. You can see here the sort of moves that Monero can make. So say if you were to buy the first breakout, let's say you bought there, like on this particular day here, at $48, and then, you could have even bought here again or here again, could have bought those two. But after you bought that, you're thinking, yep, we're all good. And then it comes back down to the 50. But it finds support around about where you bought. And that's quite normal for it to do that. Like, I've found that time and time again, when I would buy something, it would take off and I'd be 10, 15, 20% in profit, and then to come back down to my buy price. And then it'd kind of muck around a little bit and then take off again. But this is all very healthy for the market to do. I don't want to take out too much of your time, boys, or whatever. But I just wanted to throw that in there. And actually, let's just have a quick squeeze at Zcash. See where we're at with Zcash. See, now Zcash, I am definitely looking at buying Zcash, but it won't be till Monday. If you don't know, I'm actually a position trader. I don't just see something that's moving in the right direction and buy it. It has to confirm. It has to be a closed candle for me to buy. Now, what did I do? Just change it to 1 day. Let's go to the weekly, shall we? Just like I was going to do. Another thing to do when you're looking at trading as well is trade in the present moment. If you're trading for what you think the market's going to do, you're going to lose money. Simple as that. I hear these people say that all the time, but I just, it's never worked for me. If it's happened in history before, say 8 times out of 10, even more, you can put that as one of your rules to say, yep, from now on, I'm going to buy when this happens, because I know that it works 7 or 8 times out of 10. Great. But, to say that, all right, this is going to go there and then I'm going to exit at that price. I mean, like, that to me is just like, you're closing the door before you've started. You've said, okay, I only want to make this much out of it. I've gone into them and added to the position over and over again and made 10 times what other people have made, simply because they go in there and they say, right, I only want this much profit. Why? Just if you've got it in there, let it run. Let it do its, play its course. All right, now here we go. This is quite exciting to me. We've got an increase in volume here. This is institutional buying. Increase in buying here, institutional buying. I want to see a high close on this one here. Then I'll be buying that one there. But this won't happen till Monday. I will see what happens there on Monday. That was that one, and now Neo. Actually, I'll just have oh no, I've already had a look at that on the daily. Monero. Yep, there's Monero on the weekly. Look at that. Beautiful. So anyway, but this is where I bought, like on the daily, around about there. And so we started, so anyway, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Neo. Ooh, looks like I've got a bit of a breakout with Neo. So if this shows up all right, I'm going to be looking at buying Neo for the 10 o'clock, 25 minutes ago, if this is a breakout. But I was actually thinking that we might find some resistance at $14 with Neo. So won't be buying that. We're not ready on the weekly chart. So when you're doing analysis on these on these cryptos, you should be able to look at a chart and within a couple of seconds make up your mind whether you're going to buy it. It needs to be a wow factor buy. You need to look at it and go, holy shit, I'm in. No way, that just doesn't hit the rules. Say for example, this one here. If I would have come to this chart and gone, yep, seen that one, bang, I'm in. Let's say it started here and went down a little bit and it was up to there. That was half hour in, like say 26 minutes past 10 like it is now, I'd still be buying that simply because it's not too far extended from the candle that finished 26 minutes ago. You need to come in and have a look and go either yes or no. If it hasn't got that wow factor, leave it alone. Just go and do something else. All right, that is it for me now. I'm going to pull the pin on this and I will talk to you in the next video. All right, I hope you enjoyed. See ya.